Hello? Alright, oh. Glove. I put it in my pocket this time so I wouldn't lose it. See how clever of me. Alright, now I got my coffee. Sorry, I'm a little bit later because there's cider donuts. And I couldn't miss that opportunity to eat a fresh one. When it's so soft. Coffee. Glass number 3. Or cup. It's not in a glass. Because it's not cold. Alright, so I should be doing more of the background. Picking up from where I was yesterday. Okay. That's a bit not expected. Why would that shut off? Just move on to the next one now. Alright, there we go. So I got that camera working. Hi. Welcome. Drawing with BoogieMan today. We are continuing on with the background design, getting some of the shadows, the lighting effects, and getting... Well, we'll see if I can get this done. Because there's still a lot of decision making. How this room looks, whether or not there's... how dark it looks. But right now... And at the same time, like, I'm gonna have to fiddle with the layers and see, like, well, I want this to blend with that one, I want to have this effect, I want that. And, I'll discuss with you as I'm working along with it, okay? Lipstick on a pig. So yes, I am. Just, again, another little reminder. I'm listening to Techno X. Great group. They make all their stuff free for streamers, so... Again, that's why I always like to say a little bit, you know, say something about them, because they do this for free. They have so many options. I like this particular one, the lipstick on a pig. It's got a nice lineup of songs that I enjoy. Yep. Alright, well, I'll just get right into it. So, as you can see, I left off with doing some of the illuminations yesterday and also some of the shadow, which I did mess with and turned a lot of those over to the layer of soft light over luminosity, or even as just normal, which doesn't change much, but soft light adds a bit more to it, and it just kind of, it really hints, whereas for the special effects version, you can see this is also a soft light, but it's definitely affecting a bit differently. I want to turn down the intensity, but I'm thinking I'm gonna have to probably get rid of the intensity up top of here, as well as kind of open it up a little bit. We're gonna be playing around with a bunch of this stuff, but there's just a lot of trying to figure out, first off, where my main lighting is, and then figuring out the background, how its shadows are going to be cast. And at the same time, taking from my reference that I have, which is the which is the whole way from edit. I'll do. Yeah, I do have this over the top of the other, which. And. Yep, you're all inside there. Pull it back in, and then of course it. This is gonna affect my lighting a little bit different, but that's why I like the soft light. The soft light's not messing with the lines, which it was with the luminosity. So I said, let's stick with that kind of layer then. Because if you see how the actual inking lines look, come on, where is your luminosity was just really strong, and yes, I could tone it down. Pull it back, and it does wash out the lines a little bit, which is not a bad choice, but I did like the effect of soft light over the top of it, because when it's not coming through as harsh, it's more subtle, and that to me is really nice. Now I have light that also is being cast, and here's another thing. Let us get rid of not that one. There's another layer. Yep, that one. Because I'm going to redo some of these shadows. The shadows I was just like painting in. I need to actually do the selection so then I can properly paint it and not over paint where I don't want it to go. Because this was like a quick little thing last night. I just had to let people see. But the result turns out very nicely, and so it's like figuring out like what brushes I want to work with. Which is which you can't see unless I bring it. Come on. Nope. Fine. I did ruin that. So nope, I did that wrong. Selected wrong. So if I hit Control Alt and get this one, so I can do a quick change between all of these. If I'm not mistaken, this should also be inside that one. The airbrush. And then of course my favorite. I like to use this particular brush right here, this one, the Basic 6 from Krita, just for sketching and such. It seems to just work a little bit better than the pencil in my mind. I think those are the only 5. Oh, yep, that's fine. About to sneeze. That's the paint that doesn't bring up the ones I want. See, ink doesn't even bring up the ones I like. What is with this? Opacity. See, I'm trying to get it to work on this one. I didn't even tell you what my favorites were. Here I am trying to fiddle with getting certain things to work. That's our import script. 10 brushes did not work how I wanted. Nope. Not what I'm aiming for. the animation workspace. I think I'm just going for the big paint. Yeah, I don't need the animation workspace yet. Mainly because that'll be when I'm actually, you know, drawing keyframes and such. There, that's what I wanted back, because I want to actually just pop out. So I can show you. See, this is the problem. I hit the wrong button. It's like, ah. But this one right here, the blender blur, this one is what's going to give me the nice soft edges for the shadows. And then I'm going to be using this one. Actually just kind of paint in where I want the color, and then I'm using the blur to pull it away. So I'm going to make it darker in the spot and then pull away from that to fade and get a better gradient across it. And this, of course, will be underneath the lighting effects, so this will all play nicely. Or at least I will hope it will. We shall see. There we go, right with the tool options. And that color wheel does not need that much space. So pretty much I'm just going to be working with a little bit of black. I do have my color palette still. Yeah, because I'm using this one right here is the lighting. But I need to delete. I don't have delete. And it helps if I'm actually on the right. No, I will just do a doll. Because in order to do this properly, I need to zero in the places I want it to be. So I'm looking just to affect these portions of the wall. We will adjust everything else as we move along. This way I can just keep overpainting anywhere else, and I'm not going to affect the design of, say, like the kind of, I want to say it's like it's a wood texture, a very smooth wood texture that they have in across here, which adds to that shimmer and shine. Shimmeriness. I'm going to turn that off. I don't need the special effects, so I can just sit here and fiddle with just these walls, which I'm making a selection for. And of course. Then I'll have to go through and add in that a little bit above that smaller portions. Oh, microphone, you get in the way. I have you too close, don't I? I have you so close. Alright. This makes your life 10 times easier to make these selections. They might seem tedious, but they make a world of a difference. Hi, iPhone. What are you chiming in for? I want to make sure we don't bleed into the other. So, oh, and it looks like I definitely missed. We're gonna redo that one. Just do this. There we go. This way I'm doing a lot less selections. Make sure it is into this line so it's going to be a bit hidden, which is great because this is the shadows that I'm going to be working into it. So, and I went too far in, but there we go. Alright, my question is how much do I want to, probably just want to continue on and select the other portions of the wall that I'm working on, all these sections, just so as I'm painting in one area, I can go like, okay, let's do it over here, let's do it here, let's do it here. Let's get it all in one go. And maybe even make that its own layer. You know what, I will be making it its own layer. Because I do that. I make multiple layers. Layers are your friend. Especially if you wanted to effectively change one aspect and it's like, ooh, I think I'd like this shadow to have this feature, and it's not on the same level as this one, so you don't have to go selecting and ripping it apart later. Hooray. Lost. Oh, crud. You know what? I forgot unified chat. I do this every darn time. No wonder. I do this way too often. I was distracted by cider donuts. Whatever excuse. Yep. And I forgot the other two things too. Just briefly for a moment, but I didn't bother to check YouTube to make sure it's actually going through like it should. It does say live. And I hear sound. I almost fell asleep. I can still join if you want. Kayla, get in here. If you're at home, get your butt up in here. My goodness. Of course you're welcome to join, Kayla. Share to the Twitter, yes. Oops. There we are. Tweet. There we go. Alright, I finished those movements. And YouTube looks like it's flowing fine. And now my all chat is open. Yes, Kayla, join me if you're not. If you're at home, come join us. Everyone, bombard her with messages saying, always join him. Don't even ask, just barge in. Alright. Heck, you can even probably persuade her to do some of her drawing. Hey, she'll get even further along. It'll be beautiful. And I'm realizing I need to. See, I'm neglecting this like sliver. I could move. I could move a few things over. Yes, I neglected that. But I'm not I don't expect it to be in the shot, and oh my goodness, I neglected that space. That can be changed easily. I'm realizing I did not do my exercises today. Yep. You know, like any good athlete, you want to make sure you do some warm-ups before you start, and then like, I didn't draw circles, I didn't draw my lines to get my whole sensory stuff going. Oh boy. It really just helps to make sure that my arm is up and moving and not being a bum and resting on the desk. Which I have the tendency, since I'm lowered myself, my elbow's closer to the desk. It's like, no, we can't have that. It's not a bad thing to rest your arm, but it does close off how you can move. So it's not ideal. Wait, oops, wrong way. So you always want to be lifting. Yes. Alright, and then we'll select this, we'll still paint it in if I get over there, but if I really ooh, what happened to that? Whoa, what happened? We're gonna backtrack that then? Okay. And yep, I need to do that edge. Oh darn. There we go. So again, I'm just affecting this particular side. Nothing else. Just a little bit back. Good. And then, of course, nice. Yeah, it looks like for me, being further away, it was a bit. I didn't get precision on this. And angle it so I can see my arm. There we go. Doesn't really matter how much I catch on the overlap. So, given this, we'll just do this. Is the wallpaper shadow. Whoa! Ooh, caps lock is on. Wallpaper shadow. No, Papa? Papa? What is Papa? Papa shadow. Let's figure this out. Let's see what my audio in Discord is
before I go saying it's you.
Try speaking now. Yeah, I pushed you in and out of the channel. Really? Really? Are you trying to talk? Because I can't see it green lit. I fix one thing and I break something else, it seems. There, now my voice connection looks a lot nicer. No, you're turning green. You're turning violet, Violet. Alright, what setting did I mess with? Did I accidentally yank something out? No, it's in. It just does not want to be fun and functioning. Audio, why do you do this to me? Yeah, input devices and output devices. Yeah, I still can't hear her. I can't hear that amazing singing. I don't know why. I set it to default, so hopefully you're coming through on the stream is the bigger thing.
I can check.
Yeah, you just gotta keep speaking until if we can hear you. Can we hear her?
Yeah, I'm coming through on the stream.
Okay, well then, whatever I did screwy with the.
I had that weird panic moment where I was falling asleep. I'm like, wait! I'm awake. Because I walked and it was very warm and sunny, and then I drank some hot soup, and then I got sleepy.
Got sleepy from hot soup.
I did. It's tomato and sweet basil.
That sounds pretty sweet.
Twas.
Control Alt. Fun. Nope, you do not want to work for me. Oh, that's probably because I'm not on the brush tool anyways. Oh, there we go. It helps to actually be utilizing the tool. Five's airbrush.
Also, don't you start another train of that stuff.
Train
Yo,
of
go
what?
bother her. Do some art. No, I've already had people bother me on Tumblr. You have a really good ginger friend.
Yeah. And is that such a bad thing to have that nice little reminder from anonymous people or other people all the time, right? Just saying.
Hyperventilate.
Oh, Kayla, you can handle it.
Can I, though?
Yes. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, people.
Put too much faith in me.
Psh.
Anyway, your hallway looks gorgeous.
Thank you.
And so do you. As soon as you got your camera working.
There's a little pose for you.
Stop that. I cannot resist drawing the face.
I know. Oh, I know. It's great. It's awesome.
Laverne and Shirley it up.
As you can see, I'm putting in ink and then I blend it away. The harder I push, the more blend out what I get. Of course, it also helps if I make the brush bigger, because that's another reason why it's great to do a selection, is that I can make these brushes a little bit bigger and get a bigger blend.
As long as you don't have a tiny little selection in the corner and it makes you mad.
Yeah. Alright. Hi phone. You like to chime in, don't you?
Ding. Fries are done.
Ding, fries are done, ding, fries are done. Oop, gotta run, oop, gotta run.
Wait, we have to get through
Would
Halloween
you
and
like an apple
Thanksgiving before
pie
we
with
can start singing those
that? Would you
songs.
like an apple pie with that? That's true. Of course, I always thought the Carol of Bells was very creepy enough to be a Halloween one anyways.
That's funny. That's actually my favorite Christmas song. And that explains probably a lot.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because you're relatively creepy.
Shut up, Nathan.
Take a shot. Dang, it's not Friday.
Take a baby shot of chocolate milk.
Whew. That sugar goes straight to my head.
Go straight to my hips.
That too.
Moment on the lips, forever on the hips.
Alright, so we back off, take a quick look. It's looking beautiful. Light in
Them
there.
shadows.
It adds all the character.
Them seductive shadows for that seductive hallway.
Oh yes. Mm. I'm gonna make most of the lights soft, to be honest. I think there's only, and then I'll make a different whole layer probably for the harsh portions, for the harder ones. Yes. I don't know why that song stuck in my darn head. 50,000 bad guys with swords. That one, that line stuck out pretty well.
Those wounds to their lords like Prince Ali.
Okay. Lovely little shadow underneath there. Beautiful. And less is more in my mind, so I'm trying not to overdo this. I'm trying to do enough. Enough
He
to
says
render
while making the most detailed, intricate hallway ever.
yes. Well, again, there's so much detail that they put into the animation in Attic that's where I'm pulling this reference from. So I'm recreating it in my own way, I guess. And for this shot that I'm doing.
Besides the fact, if you want to make any other animations, you already have a hallway narrowed down you can reuse.
That's true. That's another big thing about it's not a bad idea to spend your time on backgrounds. Because if you have
By
an
the
opportunity
way,
to reuse, awesome.
did you get the one that I told Josh to send to you?
Yes. 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 I saw that after I shortly woke up and said, okay, it's time I could pick up my phone.
It was early. I apologize.
It's fine. I was asleep. I don't wake up. If I'm asleep, I'm not going to wake up suddenly going, oh my gosh, my phone's going off. No. I am out.
Lucky.
Solid 5 hours. After 5 hours, I wake up to everything. Even my own darn internal clock wakes me up at 3 a.m.
I'm so in tune with sounds that I hear the slightest something that's not normal and I'll be up out of a dead sleep.
Mm.
I hate it.
Well,
that's how I knew we had mice.
Well, see, then that's a good thing, because then you wouldn't have been able to take care of it as soon as you did, right? There's always a benefit.
Less sleep is never a benefit, sir.
Oh, depends on your point of view of sleep.
I love sleep. I don't love sleep, but since we need sleep, I've learned to love sleep.
Appreciate what sleep you can get and all that junk.
If I didn't have to sleep, I'd be so much more productive.
Oh, I know. I feel that way. Darn it. Pulled it away. I'm trying not to do that. You know, that's the one thing that I have a problem with this blend tool at times, is that it does not... If there's no ink on the other side of it, it likes to go, oh, you mean I need to blur in this? Like, no, I don't mean that. I didn't mean that at all. So when you make too many passes somewhere, it goes, oh, this is what you wanted me to blend. No.
Isn't, but thank you for trying. You do what I want, you stupid piece of crap.
Okay. This one should be subtle. I think I want a little bit more. So a little bit more, because that I feel like this corner is going to be a little darker. Not by much, but you know. Yeah, given the angle of the light, I definitely feel it is. So let's go through and make those changes. Hiccups suck.
Few hiccups.
Alright. Moving onward and upward towards the goal of finishing this wallpaper. It even seems like there's a bit of a shadow even on this upper. I feel it's more subtle.
You know, it reminds me of rich, dark chocolate.
Yes, dark chocolate is the best chocolate.
I'm starting to agree with that more and more.
I guess my good taste is finally rubbing off on you.
Be quiet. You've always had good taste. Shh.
Ooh. No, didn't want that. To either. So you're just enjoying and relaxing? Okay, so this also means that wherever I'm putting these shadows, there's going to be a highlight usually on the other side of things a lot too. Especially because of how I have particular lighting coming from the top. Downward. Downward dog. Dang it. That wallpaper looks very lovely, very three-dimensional. Isn't it coming through just beautifully? I think it is. So this is without the shadow effect, and then with, and then again with the lighting added to it. You can see that it's also causing a little bit of a color shift, but it's still casting the shadow. It might even...
I do think it is coming along beautifully.
A little bit along that edge. Just below where it doesn't quite... This kind of will help show that this is turning into a little bit different gradient than where the light is not hitting. That's good. And of course, just effectively adds that. This just adds a little bit more detail to the whole shadow effect that I'm going for. And it's very subtle. It's not big. It's enough though for me to know that I've made the difference between where this lies and doesn't. So I'm pushing my brush rather hard to actually make sure I get a good pushback on it. These particular spaces. Very subtle change. Because if anything, like where the light is, you're gonna have harder shadows than you will where where it's not. So that makes a big difference. All right. Then I can deselect that and just mark that as done for that wallpaper shadow.
Such a royal palette.
It is a grand palette. This is I love these colors, to be honest. This is a really cool.
It's a very angel dust palette.
Mm-hmm.
It is, though. It's that red that almost just looks like it's enough brown to look like chocolate, though.
Oh, goodness, did I actually...
Like the splashes of
That's
pink
right,
remind me of
background.
white chocolate. I'm being weird. I want chocolate, if you haven't noticed.
No, not at all.
That's why I should eat my peanut butter bears that I have.
You have peanut butter bears?
I do. I went to Cracker Barrel with my mom, and they had peanut butter bears, and then I got Josh some pumpkin pie cookies, soft bake.
Well, I want some. Well, I have cider donuts, so I guess it can't be. You can
Well,
go,
the next time I'll buy you some.
Well, of course. I'm always like, oh, I'd like that too. Okay.
All you gotta do is be like, hey, where's mine? That's not fair.
Wow, do I have to be that abrupt?
Why did
Hey,
Josh get everything?
where's mine? Well, I kind of understand why Josh gets everything.
I'm sorry, bro. I'll get you some.
Oh, no, no, no. You don't have to.
I don't have to. You are correct. No one is making me do anything. It's not like BoogieMan has his net and is holding it to my head or anything, you know.
Is he doing that again? Sorry. Not this time.
You haven't made an effort to tell him to stop.
What do you mean? I can't tell him to stop. Hey, BoogieMan, you should really calm
That's my point.
You should really calm down and not... Oh, you're just running away anyways. You're not gonna listen to me.
Tilts his little head to the side, just wearing the smile, a little question mark pops up. Nah.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking as like hey, look, I'm done with this. Let's draw BoogieMan in the hallway. So I think I might do that just to get an idea of perspective.
Have him be a little guest star.
Oh yes.
In prank angel dust.
Heck, I could have BoogieMan sitting in the back in his bedroom, like in a seat, and just in a few frames, and then gone the next. I could hide him in this.
You could make him be a little plushie.
That'd be even perfect. You could have it on the makeup stand.
Just to advertise your brand.
Alright, let's find our next selection.
I know which song you're listening to, and I bopped that one too.
Yeah, it just every time I hear it, it's like it reminds me of video game music so much. Like from
very chiptune-y.
the Nintendo. Yeah, it's very chiptune-y from like the NES.
Yes.
But it's got a little bit more, so it's like maybe it's Super NES because it's got a little bit more bits. But oh my gosh. See, every time I think of this kind of music, though, I think of Anamanaguchi. Have you seen? I've seen them live.
What?
You've never heard of Anamanaguchi?
I have not. And I feel like I've just committed a murder.
You have. You've just...
I committed a crime.
You actually
the
killed
highest
off
degree.
one or two of the souls on my freckles here. Come on. They literally, I can see that. I saw them vanish in front of my eyes. What did you do? Dang, that's not easily achieved. Crap. Wow, those two souls must have really liked Anamanaguchi and just died from you saying this.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, you know, things like this aren't easy to come by. I mean, I got a lot of skin real estate to fill up here.
You sure do.
It's a never-ending,
That's why you have BoogieMan doing partial work while you're trying to work over mine.
Shh. It's not how this deal works. I mean...
There is no evil laughter there. No.
No, not whatsoever. Dang it.
Those lights still look like... It looks like a robot wearing like... it's designed to look like a holy robot for a futuristic church.
The Church of Science. The Church
Oh
of the
God.
Right Order.
The Church of Science. What?
Oh, why do you do that to me? I hit spacebar and it goes nope. And I go, you sir are jerking me around with this crap.
So many expletives.
Expletive. What is with this? Expletive.
Maybe we should do the text to voice and have it just be like expletive.
Oh, that would be brilliant, yes. Create our own little soundboard and just like, button push, expletive. I'd probably break that button though.
I need to start downloading our streams so I can make highlights. And then stick that where it needs the expletive. Can't say that, it's not the right time.
This is not appropriate moment, no.
We're only allowed to swear on Friday.
Our workaround is expletive. You'll have to ask your parents about that word, children.
I like how we're saying like we can't swear, and yet you're making fan animations for Has Been Hotel.
Hey. There's nothing graphic that I'm doing. I'm drawing an
Until
environment.
they go to look up what it is you're actually referencing.
Go ask your parents, kids.
I love the smell of a new manga book.
Ooh, the flipping of the pages, yes.
Yes, the ink and the Barnes and Noble smell of things.
The Barnes and Noble smell. Yeah. Ah, that's too much pink. Come on, black.
I gotta stop.
What do you gotta stop?
I'm reading manga and I'm reading a particularly funny part.
So you're gonna giggle is what you're saying?
Yes, but I feel like it's rude since you have no context.
And I take it you can't tell us about it.
Of course, you know you're a joke too, so it's pretty funny.
Aw, thanks. I find my joke rather funny too. The cosmic joke of a ginger.
Damn it. Damn it.
What?
I'm always getting twisted around where it's in your favor.
I'm a master if people
You're
try
a
to make
master
fun of me.
manipulator.
What? And I can't say the other comment that came to mind. It's like, dang it, nope, kid friendly.
Dang, what the heck were you gonna say now? I'm curious.
Well, it's about being a master of debating. So see how I've broken up the words, so it's not so clear. Yes.
Teach me, senpai. Hello.
See if I can get the roundness I want from this. Bigger now.
No, I mustn't yawn. I mustn't do that.
Is you getting sleepy? Again?
I am. Regrettably.
Well, given your sleep pattern, you think it's bad for you to resist? Just go to sleep, take a nap.
If I take a nap, I won't wake up till the next morning.
No, I think you'll wake up sooner than that.
Probably because I'll get hungry.
No, probably because I'll bring over a foghorn and going, honk! Exactly.
Rude.
Incredibly so. You slept enough. Wake up, Kayla.
That's Nathan. Play the laugh track.
Who else but Nathan?
Who else but Nathan? Yeah, I might go take a nap.
Oh, if you're falling asleep.
I feel like I'm just not much entertainment when I'm sleepy.
I don't think most people are that entertaining when they sleep. Unless they talk. Do you talk in your sleep?
No. There's plenty of people who are entertaining when they sleep. It's when they're sleepy. Of course, there are some entertaining people when they're sleepy too.
Yeah, because they almost act like they're drunk.
Gee, thanks.
I didn't call you one of those people. Are you one of those people?
I don't know. You've never seen me drunk.
Nope.
Thank God.
Aww.
I don't know. Again, maybe we can go to that orchard, which Josh said he wants to go.
Cool.
So. Yay.
That would be great. Adventure time!
It's your time. And then who knows? Maybe we can go eat at Red Robin again, and then I'll get a Long Island iced tea and entertain you.
You do know they serve Long Island iced teas at more places than Red Robin, right?
Yes, that's just the closest one that I can think of, and that I like it.
There's a lot of places that make it incredibly sweet, so it's like, oh, I can't taste the alcohol. I'll get drunk off this in no time. Yes. Kids, be very careful when you get to the age of drinking. Certain drinks
Be responsible.
Fool you. Yeah.
And we're not laughing at that. We're serious. Be responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Shifty Cat's giving you the mega death glare.
Mega death.
Yeah, you got about an hour left. So.
Yeah. And I'm still working away at the shadows. I haven't even gotten to the point where it's like, can I do the highlight?
Yeah, that's kind of where I am. I'm like laying flats and darks, and I'm like, it doesn't look right. And I'm like, but I haven't got to the highlights yet. Just leave it.
Well, here's the sad part. This is just one of the two lamps, and I think I'm just gonna copy and paste it over. Because it's not gonna be any different. It's gonna be pretty much the same.
Copy pasta, it's fine.
I might be putting a little too much emphasis on it, but I can always change it a bit later too. So
I guess I would just say periodically zoom out and check the full color of it, and then zoom back in.
And that's what I did. Is I zoomed out, and now I'm like, dang it!
Ah, there goes the delay. Makes me sound like a nag. No. Zoom out. I did. Delay. Hang on. Sorry.
No need to apologize. I mean, you're the one that just ragged on yourself for it. Like, oh gosh, I don't know.
I do that constantly. I rag on myself all the time.
Well, then thank you, because you took care of all of that mess for me then. Thanks. Yeah.
You're welcome, damn it. There.
You're very thoughtful.
As I sit and contemplate that I can buy you some peanut butter bears and some... Oh my god, I'm gonna go lay down.
Yes, yes.
It was nice popping in for a while. I will talk at you later. Have fun with the stream, guys.
Yay. Bye, Kayla. And thank you, Kayla. You're welcome. I'll just sing "You're Welcome" to myself. Oh no, I didn't want to copy you. Didn't want to copy the blank one. I want to make a new layer. Because this layer... Oops, what's going on? Where that... Okay, there it goes. We're going to have a lot of deep dark coming from up there, because this is where the shadow is not, I think. Let's go with a particularly large... Yes, I'm tapping every single pixel large how I want it, because I'm that kind of a person. Wait, blend it downward, and we're going to blend it back. And then blend it outward even further. So really, I'm just trying to get this to influence the color, but not be the end all be all. Alright, then pull it up and off of this. So I don't want it to be fully on. And then let's do another little pass. Darkness. You're blending darkness into this picture. That upper edge is really just going to be mainly where that really dark, deep dark portion is going to be. See, I can look at it compared to my other. And we're going to deselect so I can see how it compares, and I like it. Alright. Did I just... Oh, nuts. Go forward. Go forward! Critta. Critta. Why do you do this to me? Oh, did you cut? There we go. Okay. I accidentally hit Control C. Because what I really want to do, I'm going to deselect that, and I'm going to do the same thing as I did before. copy, paste, and move it on over. So I'm going to make sure we got it lined up right. Because again, this is pretty much these sections are exactly the same. I just copied each over in the first place, so then I'll just collapse it down. And then deselect. So you can already see that there's quite a bit of dimension that's being added to this hole just by adding enough shadow, so it hints that there's depth. And right now all I have is a lot of depth that's worked into the wallpaper and above the lamps and onto the lamps. What I really need to start doing is getting some of the extra hot points where the light is really kind of it's really close, but then pull it out in gradient wise. Because right now, like the luminosity I have going on, the shine, and it's a really good start, but there's still some more hot spots that I need to create with the highlight. So let's see if I can do that for you here. And again, I want to use in 3D, usually you don't use perfect white. If your lighting says, hey, I'm tungsten, or I am, you know, what is it, incandescent, or halogen, there's certain color waves that those are giving off, and you go, well, if you're that, then if you're tungsten, then I need to give you more of an orangey yellow hue. And I believe a lot of these lights would be close to that, and not like that, but it's a warmer effect, so we're going to keep that going on. And then, alright, so as in this particular thing, this is where I'm going to start going, like, I might have to create, like, take these lamps and create and put on a top layer above even my lighting in a particular lighting, like this particular highlight, because we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go in here, and it's a particularly hot spot underneath this lamp. And if I go like this, and then blend it outward. I do not want it this harsh. So again, I'm going to increase this so it really just starts blending outward. And this is where part of like the effects of what I do with lighting. As you can see, I'm pulling away, telling it, no, we want you to be affecting this, yes, but I'm trying to change the levels of which that's occurring. And I'm probably going to take this layer and see if I can throw it below the inking and coloring of this particular one. As I'm trying to get this some variation of lines, because it feels like there should be like a small little bend of it based upon how this design is. So I'm trying to see if I can influence the light in such a way that adds to that effect of how this lamp is working. And then see if I do soft light, it then adds the same effect as the previous one, but I have more of a highlight being generated across that, which I kind of like, because you can see that it's clearly like showing more light here. Actually, can I get both? So you can see between these two, this one I've added another highlight, another portion to this lighting effect that says there's quite a bit of extra light that's being shined right in this. This is a hot spot because the wall is closer to the lamp. And I can even keep going through and just trying to make this area a little bit darker, because again, the closer the lamp is to a wall or something, the more light it's going to shine off of it, the more it's going to bounce. So in this case, I'm creating a deeper highlight of that light and that lamp that's coming across that wall. And I'm just gradiented out and just like kind of, well, not gradient, but just blurred it outward. So it doesn't blend all the way down and it's not a solid color line. Because if I go in here and say I go do that, that's too harsh. I don't want to use that. But if we zoom in, I can see, because actually I'm going to copy the layer and I'm going to, so you can see just by copying the layer, I've added a whole nother version of it that is now even more influence of this, influence overall of how strong that highlight's going to be. But I'm making a layer because I'm going to do something with this one. We're going to see if yes, we want to lower this brush. Because we're going to go in right along this edge. I'm going to have to clean up that. That's underneath the coloring layer. Actually, particularly back there, right between where our effect that's blocking extra light going off this direction, there's a strong portion there. So we'll go in. We definitely want to make this one smaller. And we'll still blur this out. But this particular portion of the light is really close to the wall. So I'm trying to give it a stronger, yet blended outward. Stronger sense how really close it is. So it adds kind of a smaller glow to it. I feel like I do need to blend it out a little bit more, so a little bit bigger brush. So I don't want it to be huge and like incredibly strong. I want it to be enough to go, yes, this lamp is closer. We can see that based upon how this light is affecting it. And I'll even pull it out kind of a little bit. And it's a very subtle halo aspect that I'm adding to this. So you can see that it's slightly glowing a little bit more around where the lamp is closest to the wall. And that's really like, that's the difference. That's how I can add. If you can see, if I can get these both on the screen, so you can see over here where I've added the lighting effects that I wanted with just the highlights, whereas for it's still very flat on the right side here. The left side has a little bit more dynamic going on with it. It's added this effect of highlighting, and I definitely have to go through and clean that lamp. That's going to be something that's going to bug me. Alright, I'm going to shrink this down, and I'm going to go again, another little, try to work in a little bit more of this halo. So I feel like, again, this is still particularly close, and it should be a little bit harsher. I might have gone a little too far, but I did blend out quite a ways, and then this is just another pass. Smaller brush. Trying to just lightly go over it, not really heavily, but I don't want a hard edge to be found. There. Feel really good about that one. So, I actually go ahead and copy it. I can take this And you can see now, like when I pull it away, how that lighting effect is working, how it's designed. I'll just line it up with you. Zoom in to make sure it looks really nice. And I'm holding shift so I can pull it to the side and keep it lined up. Alright, and then enter, and look at that. Now they both have that lovely added effect to have a little bit more highlight to adjust the lighting across it. So it looks beautiful and it stands out. It looks really, really good right now. So I got some nice shadow across the top of it where less light is getting, because again, this lamp is directing it downwards, so it's going to have more of a shadow behind it to contrast that. And I have more highlight around the lamp where it's actually closest to the wall, which again adds depth. It lets somebody know a hint towards where this object is in the world. And it's really all the shadowing highlight's going to be working with. That's what I'm trying to keep going with this and trying to figure out, this is where I want this one to be, this is how I want this to overlay. And right now with the glow from this, it is already affecting my wall in the back, so I can turn off these. And you already see it's the FX, it should be. Yeah, how much of a difference do these glows look when I take away that kind of guided, where the light can't get to based upon how the lamp is designed. I do want to rework these ones because those lamps are glowing upward more so because there's less obstruction to the light than it is when it's going down through the glass. And that's again the same idea with this, is that the light is either illuminating from the glass, this specialty bulb itself, or it's actually hidden behind the wall a bit more between everything. Like there's a bulb right behind that glass portion. The glass is diffusing it to make it spread out a little bit more, and it's not so hard of a light, in everyone's eyes. It's really, that's what a lampshade does. The lampshade keeps the harsh light of the actual light bulb from hitting you. It just softens it. Okay. Now I do have to put in a lot of shadow below, because I got a lot of darkness there. I have the door itself, and then I have to put in some nice little highlights like so. Actually, this is... Actually, yep, we will collapse that into each other and say this is lamp highlight or halo highlight. So I know that it's more of like adding this little glowing effect around the lamp. So it's another hint for me. Yeah, and again, if I added a whole nother layer, see how much more depth. And that's just copying the previous one, really. So we'll delete that. Yeah, because I'm pretty good. I'm pretty sure I don't want to. You know what? Because I created this whole thing for that purpose. Throw it in my copies. The copies is just like, it's a bunch of layers. Like, if I need to go back, I have reference. I don't have to reconstruct the whole thing from brand new. Not a bad idea, but it does add a lot more how your system's handling it. So work within reason of what you can do with your system. Nope. 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 Alright, so let's go back to doing some shadows. I forgot which one works. I didn't label you. How irresponsible of me. Alright. You're the lamp shadow. And then just above lamp shadow. Shadow itself does not have any, but that's fine. we're gonna start grouping these so I can put them into folders that are, and collapse these folders. Shadows. Throw that in. So I'm just gonna do this as luminosity, or hard light from lamps. And that way it'll be over the top. I'll have to rework where the baseline should be above palette just cause. Ah, you are ceiling lamp glow. There we are. So these are more of lighting effects or lights. Ooh, I don't want to do that. That's right. Because these have specialties going on with, well, maybe I could. I put them in to this layer. This is one thing that you can do with it. It's like, it says it's normal, but if I just say soft, it makes them all soft. So I don't have to go to the individual ones and say that. As a matter of fact, I could say normal on these, and then because the actual layer group says no, these are soft light, it just groups them all together. So if I need something else soft light, I can just throw it in there and then start working with it, and the whole group is set up. Lamp glows. There we go. Just trying to be a little organized. That's it. And that has another soft light. So yeah, we'll add that into the lamp glows. Then hit normal. By putting these in groups, I can control more across the board. Like, these all should have this kind of effect. It's like, I don't like the lamp glow, so let's all change them down lower. All of them go down, but I like what they are right now. No, fine, 100%. Now, again, I have some highlight that has to go over the top of these and then across these, because this is more of a metallic metal. So that's also another thing that I have to add in, is these portions will have strong highlights going across it, which I'm wondering. See, this is a nice little effect because you can actually just go back and go, oh look, if I take off the color, how does this all look together? And it's like, it looks nice. But if I add the color back in, obviously it adjusts the color without having to do it directly. Because I don't want to go in there and like, well, let's make this a gradient across to here, and this green. It's like, no. I'll add a layer over the top, and I will alter it. And then if I add the light, the lamp lights are altering the shadow. So if I turn them off, they all look the same. Whereas if I put it back on, it illuminates these portions a little bit more where it actually has the effect. Whereas for above and below it, that hard line between where the light is and not shows. Ooh, I'm almost done with my coffee. Oh, and about a half hour. Ooh, boy. Alright, I want to get these highlight, or the shadows from below, now that I got this a little bit more. Off lamp shadow, lamp shadow, lamp shadow, lamp shadow, and let's make a new layer. And this will be, I'm going to go with wall base, because everything below is gonna have a special effect, being just shadowed, and it's gonna be different than the overall pillars aspect, because those are protruding outward, and right now it looks like this portion of the wall is further is like closer to us than the actual wallpapers around that's surrounding the doors, which is right now what I kind of have going for it. And it is a bit unfortunate, but I'm gonna have to rework that just a little bit, but not right now, because I feel like I could be overthinking it. Just finishing off the rest of it and then looking at it overall helps. That's why pulling back and looking at it and going, looks good for now. We can adjust a little bit later, and that's what I'll be doing. Is just fidgeting with the little things here and there. So we're gonna select the major portions of these walls real quick. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to do this portion and then just copy and paste it over to the other side. Again, the lovely thing about environment is that these are all practically the same. I'm not redoing anything in particular to make these fit. Great. Yes, I know I'm pushing shift. I really need that hint to go away, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to turn that off, because I know it's a feature to let you know what button you're pushing, but at the same time it lets you guys know, everyone know what I am currently pushing in addition to the tool I'm using, because I'm adding this in to my selection. Went a little bit beyond what I needed. I'm just trying to match these up. You don't want to, because you don't like those pixels being selected. That's what we will zoom in. There we are. That's close enough. And just make sure I'm not going overboard and into things I don't want it to be. I do want to make sure it overlaps enough. There we go. Alright, so again, I'll do the shadows here, and I'll just copy it over to this portion. See, back to black. Alright, we need a bigger brush, because we do have deeper shadows here, because now that we're showing, like, this is here, but this is even further away from where the light sources are. So I'm going to really lay it on thick below this. And we're going to blend it outward, downward, across the wall, because there's a little bit of light getting here. Not too much, though. And we're doing a heavy blend down first, and then adding in more. Adding in more and more and more and more until I get it all the way across where I want it. Right, and this time I'm not pulling from the very top, I'm pulling from center. Trying to make this shadow really reach. This is going to be a deep, dark color, blending all the way down. Da -dee -da, da -da 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 -da. I particularly like doing a lot of light design because I have always loved three-dimensional design. So adding these kind of effects to environments and really getting a nice, interesting sense of how the world looks. I think I blended that a little too far back. Oops. This particular shadow I could do this. Same time I could go darken, which doesn't really do much. Or burn, or no. Overlay, which doesn't do it. You see a lot of these things, like, it's not doing exactly what I want it to. Luminosity? No, of course not. Inverse subtract? Nope. Erase it. See, that's just a weird one. But anyways, back to normal. Back to normal? What's that? Now, I might want to tone it down just because, like, no. Alright, I'm going to deselect it so I can see them a bit easier. So again, this is another reason to do one side and not the other, so as I can see what the original is and how much I've changed it. And it is quite a big difference, and it's definitely showing that I need to put more detail into these, into the, what was it, the wall designs, I can't remember what exactly that is in the building structure terms, but I definitely need to add more to those. And that's mainly so it's like they also have depth of how the figure looks. And it's also like it's by doing some of this lighting, I'm adding a texture to it. Like the wallpaper designs are very matte, so they're not going to be glossy. They're not going to have hard light that's going to shine back at everything. They're going to be more diffused. They're going to be more more blended, because it's not a matte finish is actually trying to diffuse the light outward instead of reflect it back like a mirror. The glossier something is, the more it's going to reflect it back, and you're going to get harder light points. The wood itself would probably be finished and would have a nice kind of semi-gloss kind of aspect, which is something I'll work into it. Alright. The shadow underneath looks good for now, and I'm gonna use it. And again, I can always change a lot of these things, and that's what I plan to do. As I get in more highlights and I go, maybe I could alter this slightly with this kind of highlight. That way I have this harsh, shadow, but there's some alteration here and there because there is some light getting to it. Alright, so back, and then back away and see how that looks. Look at how dynamic this is already looking. And this is just with some of the shadow and the highlights. This is not everything yet. I'm going to add those back in so we have a little bit more reference. So across the ceiling, I'm going to have to add in certain effects too. So I'm going to have to do certain selections. But I do need to get these baseboards darkened. They need to be darkened from the below upward because they have a little bit more light that can hit them from the top than they do from the bottom. Especially with the position of where the light is compared to them. There might be a little bit highlight across the edge, but very subtle. It's not even, I might not even bother with it because it's just like, it's not big enough to show me a difference. So, come on. Every so often just likes to shift. So next portion, maybe I could start working in some of the aspects into the door. Maybe. Well then let's... The door itself is quite different. Because it's got shadow crossed here, shadow cast here, shadow casted across a lot of the portions of this to darken them up, to give that depth of, you know, this is like a slight raise off of the door, or even like, is it a divot into it? Gosh. See, I'm also doing a lot of this without the reference up right now. I really like this color scheme though. It looks really rich and very, very, very lovely with how the shadows are working and how the highlights are working. Pull myself down just a little bit because I'm noticing my head is still, still clipping a little bit. Oh, Kari. Yeah, I definitely like the shadows that are occurring right here. But we'll see about how this store is going to turn out. So let's start off with shadows. So we're going to make a shadow layer. Oh, that's right. We're going to collapse you into the other one. And create another. And you know what a good thing would be? Just because getting really far along here. Save an iteration in my current works order. Okay. Black is selected. I'm also going to put a little bit on the door, because the door now has got a little bit of roundness. So I'm going to pull it across that. And then this has its own little extra shadow. There's a lot of dynamic parts going on to this one, which I'll have to really work in. So the first blend is just to get a lot of it out. I'm going to blend a lot of this in and out. And I'm going to have to get smaller brushes for that one in particular. So we'll work about that. Work around that one in a moment. Hey you. Especially because I'm also, for the detail here, I'm going to have to use quite a bit. Make it a little bit more subtle. Just enough. Because this door is not as far back as, say, the wallpaper is, but it's a little bit. Just a hint towards this edge. Alright, so, again, I'm going to need smaller brushes for a lot of the other portions. Nope. Because we got... and a thick here. Now I'm creating harsh shadow and then softening it. That's pretty much the idea of what I'm doing. Is like, where really do I have it casting a good amount of shadow? So really, it can't be seen too well from the inking, but pull away from that ink here. Once I get a better idea of where I want. See, and I might do like interior shadowing, and I'm gonna do a separate selection for those. But the exterior ones, the ones that are across the door itself, I will do in an overall less detail portion. Okay, now I need to blur, blending. I'm going to blend it down. Away from the object a bit. And keep doing that. Now I'm going to start off with a smaller blend brush and then work my way to a bigger one. So right now I just want to get some, blend away some of this edge. And then I'm going to want to blend it even further outward than where it is. There's also something to going towards more like this, so I can get a little bit of that portion cut off from the sides and top. I'm going bigger to blend more outward. It's like see, I'm allowing this to cast shadow across certain portions because these are coming out of the actual door. That way some of it looks like it's inward, some of it's outward, so it's got that, again, dynamic depth. And the deeper the shadow, the more it's cutting off the light and the deeper the object is. So if I want to make it more subtle, I need to pull back a little bit on some of this. So, given that. Some hinting, not necessarily completely taking away from it. And this is another thing, is like I should have done a selection around this edge and not affected it in the interior portion of it. But I can slightly pull back just by doing some adjustment. Again. Same time, I can even go, hey, let's just go in and erase along this. Because like I said, I'll do the interior at its own separately. Because again, I want some roundness from it, so I might use a little bit harsher at a certain point. There. That way, again, it's just affecting the outside, not the inside of it just yet. It looks alright for now. I definitely feel like I want more. Again, I probably should have done the selection. It's one of those little things, like I don't want to affect this one, that stuff, because I might do it I might do it separately, or even add a highlight, because again, this is, if it's raised upward, it's gonna capture more of a highlight than it will probably a shadow, but it's that dynamic. Okay. Let us do some shadows on this jaw knob. So the deeper one from there. See how I'm trying to work it in a circular motion too for this particular one, because this object is that kind of dynamic look. So it's blending back and forth, getting outward a bit more, and then blending it back where I believe it should be. This push and pull of color and change. Yay! It's looking more and more like a doorknob with every pass. So again, this like I said is like some of the fun I really have with working this is how to make this object stand out above the crowd, even if I really shout out loud. Tonight is the only place you'll see. Gonna stand out, stand, yeah. Sorry, that just comes to mind. It's a great movie. Awesome soundtrack. A little bit bigger. I'm not sorry. I sang that song. I like it. It's an awesome one. Trying to help this cast a little bit more. Again, the doorknob will have a little bit more of a rounded. Trying to get a bit of an angle too from this way downward. Probably as much as... I know you can't quite see my pen, but this is the angle of which I'm trying to get it because of where I know the light source is. I think I'm just going a little bit more on this side. Smaller brush, just really get a deeper, darker color on that edge underneath it all. That looks pretty darn good. I can see myself going through and trying to soften up a lot of these a little bit later. Going like, it's too harsh, it's too much. I want to be subtle. And I can see myself cutting out that and going, okay, let's kind of just big brush it and say, nope. Because like, what I'm thinking is like, I could easily go, but then it really makes it flat. So it's like, it's not the detail I want. You can see I can take a smaller brush and kind of do a similar thing where it's not as influenced, but you know what I do? I'm adding a really deep shadow again because this is where the knob and the actual door keyhole kind of want to meet up. Okay, and again, if I want to blend it further away, get more of a solid. So I don't need it all the way down. Trying to blend enough. There we go. Again, this is adding depth to the whole feel of things. So you see where I have that lamp, and the whole idea is that the reason why I'm doing, so we can all see it. The light coming from this is going, of course. I'm gonna deselect. My light source is going outward like these, out into these directions. Now, as for how far, that's up to me to decide. Is it a very subtle light? How many watts is it? Is it really, you know, is it illuminating that much? Is that the reason why we have these other lamps here? Is because this is a very soft light, so it's only producing so much. That's where we're adding in all this dynamics. Like, because again, I could actually go in and go, well, since the doorknob's sticking out, I have the light coming off from this, and this is metal. That's another thing. Like, this is metal. I'm gonna have a little harsh, like a highlight that I want to add to these. Show you what. Let me see. I do have my particular illuminating color. The thing I'm gonna have is it's gonna be more like this. It's very subtle, but it's enough to go, oh, this is actually metal. This is reflecting light backward up into the rest of it. It's like, oh, see, so if that's the case, then I might need to pull back on this side, and the whole thing is capturing light on both sides in its own little way. And again, and that hints towards that, oh, this has got quite the dynamic lighting going across it. It's like, yes. This hints towards its texture, what it is, what material it is. So again, right now, good placeholder. We'll definitely rework it back because, again, I'll probably decide, like, I guess, you know, because when something's highly reflective, it's going to grab light even from a really far distance, but it might be subtle. It might be more, like, duller compared to another one that's closer to it, which could cause a harsher highlight or hot spot across that metal surface. That's part of my decision making. The hallway's definitely coming along quite a ways as I look at it. You know, I'll probably post and like, hey, here's the progress. And show that off. Why not? Not done, but we got some shadows, highlights, some illuminating effects going on. So I'd really say, like, because here's the big kahuna. Once I go lamp glows, shadows, highlights, there's my flat color. There's no dynamic, you know, portion to it at all. So here's the, come on. Here's the hallway with no adjustments, nothing affecting it. Then suddenly we add in all these subtle effects. And they start shifting and giving more weight to certain areas. This is, like I said, this is the part that I have so much enjoyment because I like watching this happen. And it's even better when you can create it. Yeah, I don't have anything in that layer. Looks like I don't have anything in my highlights either, so that's good. It's just really shadows and the lamp glows right now. So if I add in the shadows, you can see, oh, there's so much depth, and then the lamp glows with the you know, as their special effects. Yay! And this in particular, actually, I'm going to make a layer over the top of it. I'm going to do that. Because one thing that this is a very interesting effect, and it's going to be very small. But the closer this light is to particular things, and I don't want it inside there, I want it outside. So you might have small little dust particles. Because, you know, it's not going to be perfect, but just a few. You know. Because it's funny how some of this works. Because, you know, it's just, all it is capturing the light in just such a way. It's making it just stick out. So it's like certain effects like that could be added to really kind of add to the, it's kind of dusty. It's not, it's got particles in the air that are glowing based upon, like, you know, how well it's capturing the light. I mean, these are little flakes of dirt, of dust. You know what? Just for fun and giggles. Roundabout control. Oh, well. Copy. And we're going to put this on this door. Enter. Copy again. There we go. So the shadow currently, how I have the door working, is across them all right now, so you can see that. I won't keep it that way because I still have quite a bit more to do with this door. But I love how this is coming together. I have a lot to do with the ceiling boards here, as well as the complete base boards. Because right now I just have the wall. I don't even have the base. I don't have those base boards. I have the base wall, but not the base boards. And then I have our, what's it? Raised, you know, from the wall, kind of, you know, aspects, wooden features to make the wall more dynamic and more interesting. And then, what is that? I'm just gonna put dust particles. Nah, I don't know if that's spelled right, but and then of course save. So there it is. We're getting quite a bit done. And again, with environment design, you're really trying to make this a hero shot because you won't be changing it. It won't be moving. It'll be in the background. I mean, heck, there could be a point where it's actually just like I could do a radial blur and it's just like kind of focused here, so everything else around it will just still be blurred out. It's like, but it's still there. The detail's there. It's just I might not need it. Who knows? Who knows? Because right now I just know that this is a particular shot that I want. And so the environment's being designed for it. And a lot of this is, I don't see it going all the way down, so I might not even need to bother with the baseboard. Because the shot could be simpler, like, you know, simply from this point up, but it's, again, it's like, it depends. So I do this, and at the same time, like, I might skew it a little bit. When I pull it into Photoshop, you can skew things a little. I can see what kind of shift I can get done with it. But if you're interested in doing games, 2D games would really appreciate this kind of flat wall. That's the kind of design you want to make for those. So again, this is very very close to what you'd want to do if you're trying to do that kind of thing. But I'm making the animation, so I'm making my hero background shot for this for shot number 2 and the final shot, because the final shot is and walking out the door and walking away, and then us going through the door into the room. So there's also going to be even a dynamic of, here's this layer, the door is open, so this middle door will actually shift and be usable and change, based on what shot I'm doing. In the final shot, it will be open. But the rest of the wall will be perfectly fine. I'll just have to cut that portion out and say, okay, this door is actually now open. It's at this angle of doing this perspective, and have us travel through. So we'll be zooming in past the door jamb and everything, and it'll fade and then go to our final shot. But raspberries, that was in there. All right, well, thank you for joining me for another day. Kayla and I will be here on 12:30 Wednesday for the Crazy Show. Our midweek kind of fun draw, where I'll most likely continue on with this, and she's got her own work going on. We'll see. You can always ask me to do something else. Always welcoming requests, especially if we can do quick little draws for everyone. And always, if there's somebody that, if you're an artist out there, reach out. We want to talk to you always. We enjoy helping. We enjoy talking, even if it's just to go back and forth on stuff. It's great fun. As I'm flipping crud around. But there we go. All right. Well, again, thank you for another Saturday. It's been splendid. Got quite a bit of work done. I'll get some more done, mostly writing and everything after this point, and hopefully some more of these shadows and aspects. We'll see. But this is the BoogieMan dancing on out of here. I'll catch you critters later.